Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast.
Now that is true. He doesn't know everyone's last name. I'm pretty sure he probably only knows my last name because I know Jeff very personally. Well, Brian, he might know your name.
I think
he knows
my
your
last name.
He knows your last name.
It's Reeves who doesn't know.
Yeah, Reeves doesn't know you. I don't know a reason for him to know you.
No. Well, he's kind of taking my seat because I was the one that did the intro before. So
yeah, and if only I had that audio.
yeah,
I could play that right now for our special guest. He'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
Welcome to Pod Chef, the only official Top Chef podcast as far as the lawyers are concerned. It's your boy Jamal, your host. With me as always, my co-host. What's up, Reeves? Say what's up to the listeners.
Hey, how's it going, listeners? Happy to be here. Rate us 5 stars, please. Please do that. We really need it.
All right, and co-host to the co-host, Brian. What's up?
Hey, what's up? We got 2 new ratings, but people aren't writing it. They're just like doing the stars and not the actual rating. Look, that's how I review things too, so I get it. But like, if you could just like write something, even if you want to pretend like it's not you that's liking it. I love when you a lot of times when you buy like men's clothes off of places like Amazon or Macy's or something like that, the reviews are always like, bought it for my husband, he loved it. If you want to like put some distance between you and this podcast, feel free to say your husband loves the podcast or that your wife loves the podcast, and then you won't get judged.
You know, when I'm buying clothes off Amazon, I look at the reviews. I look for that like 1-star review that says the crotch wore out immediately. 1 star.
Yeah, that's immediately what I
hated these pants.
Whatever the worst one is, and it's something like I couldn't figure out how to open my mailbox. I couldn't get the package open. Yeah, has nothing to do with the product. It's just like I wore these for a week and I didn't change them, and the crotch tore apart. 1 star.
It's like the postal worker was mean. 1 star.
Yeah. What does it have to do with the product? Also, use it as it's intended.
Also, who interacts with their postal workers? Have them leave stuff at your door and go away.
Also, why couldn't I think of something other than the crotch rotting?
Also, I would like those reviews.
Yeah, I did find those helpful.
If the crotch immediately rots, tell me.
And this is a thing people need to understand happens with pants. Okay, we have another special guest with us, continuing the streak. You may know him from the other podcast he's on the Flagrant Ones Patreon. Carl calls his cousin. He is the cousin. He's also got a new single out called My Fault, featuring Teddy Obat on anywhere you stream music. He's also got more slaps coming all year long. Please welcome to the podcast episode, Ahsohn Williams, a.k.a. Ahsohn the DJ. What's up?
Hello. What is up? Happy to be here.
I'm so glad this one's going to be clean.
You could have taken the time to ask how to pronounce Teddy Obat's name too in that time, but you didn't.
I kind of
did. I mess up his name?
I think it's Obot, like robot, but without the R.
Okay. Well, we'll have Teddy on. We'll have Teddy on.
We'll have Teddy on, and we'll figure it out.
I'll apologize to him personally as well. Thank you for coming on, Ahsohn.
Oh yeah, happy to be here.
First question, what did you think of the intro?
I thought it was good. That particular chord progression was interesting because I kept waiting for there to be like it felt like a lot of tension in those chords, and I felt like I was waiting for like the next like section to hit, but it kind of just stayed there, and the tension kept building. So I'm kind of like on the edge of my seat now at this point.
Oh, good.
The tension was palpable.
Can I? So let's get into the mind of a DJ real quick. I know this is a food Top Chef podcast, but I want to get into the mind of a DJ.
Well, I mean, DJs are just music chefs.
And that's what I've been saying for at least since we booked you on this episode. I've been saying that
all the time.
So for
we
at
have
least
someone
a week.
who's I've been saying he is a music chef. He's cooking.
Yeah.
When he does a playlist, he's improvising and cooking. He's like, okay, we don't have pancetta. I can put something else in here. He's cooking it up. for the audience.
We also DJs. We call each other DJ, and like the way they call each other
Like in
chef on
Chef?
the show.
That's
Yeah.
very cool.
Okay.
Thank
now,
you, DJ.
Now
That
I have a
kind of thing.
question. What
We
happens if
DJ.
someone says, "Hey, head DJ"?
Hey, head DJ.
Yeah.
Well, you have to know your environment, because I mean that person may or may not be the head DJ of whatever environment they're in, and there's a very forcefully enforced like hierarchies among DJs for sure.
Oh my goodness, this is just like the kitchen. Wow.
Yeah, D Nice is like the national head of DJs right now.
Okay.
I was gonna wonder if it was Dead Mouse.
No, it was. It actually was. It was Daft Punk, but they recently retired. So it is the crown was open and D Nice went for it.
Wow.
Nice.
Now, are there any iron DJs?
Iron DJs. I think the closest we had was MF Doom, because he wore an iron mask of sorts, like
Wow.
Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah.
Yes. DiCaprio. I want to
Also a DJ. Yeah.
before we get too far from when you were talking about when you were describing the beat as like building up tension and putting you on the edge of the seat, I think when Jeff sent us a couple of tracks to choose from, the name of that track was called Uncut Gems, which is a movie that is all about building tension.
Yes.
Very good.
Do you think that's so I want to get in the mind of a DJ. Is that why?
That sounds good to me. I mean,
Okay.
that movie is a tension cornucopia. So, I mean, it only makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not an anxious person, but when I was watching that movie, I was like, oh, this is what it's like to have anxiety all the time, huh? Because this has just been an hour and a half of me feeling anxious for this person and what they're going through.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know because I'm on Lexapro now.
Okay, do we want to keep that in, or
Not
Is that
embarrassed.
a brag?
Yeah, that's
yeah?
brag.
Was that? Yeah. Do we want to brag
Is
to
that
the
are you
listeners right
flexing?
Yes.
now?
Yeah.
Well, you did a
Flexapro?
rewrite, right, of Uncut Gems where he took that,
Flexapro.
right?
Yeah, where he's just fun, where everyone's cool, everyone's just relaxed. Kevin Garnett comes.
He just gets
And
over his
he-
gambling addiction.
Yeah, he's just fine.
He takes some mushrooms. He has a divine experience.
Yeah. Kevin Garnett's there, and he, actually no wait, sub out. It's Paul Pierce, and they're just playing poker,
Yeah, Paul Pierce is in it.
Yeah,
and it's a different
The
movie.
first
And it's great. We're just having fun.
that's why Paul Pierce lost his job, because he was doing spoiler alerts for that cut of the movie on his Instagram live.
Yeah, there are a lot of strippers in my version.
Yeah, they're all,
Uncut Gems.
So that's why all the strippers were there. He had called a meeting. He just wanted to run some script ideas.
Yeah,
Some people he trusts.
It's a production meeting.
yeah.
yeah.
I don't understand why he loses his job over that. Everyone's got to get a second opinion on stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a segment we like to do called Chefs I Prepared for You, where we go around.
Whoa!
It's got a name
It's
now.
got a name now. This has never had a name. It's just something where we just did the thing. But I'm glad that it has a name. I think it sections things.
No,
out better.
it's a segment we do every episode, and it has always had a name. It's called Chefs I Prepared for You, where we go around and we say what we had for dinner last night as if we're presenting it to Tom and Padma. So I'll go first. Chefs I
Gail's
Prepared
there
for
too.
You. What'd you say?
Gail's there too.
Yeah, sometimes. Chefs I Prepared for You: chipotle marinated pan-seared chicken breast, roasted garlic asparagus, and diced sweet potatoes.
That sounds pretty good. How did you So it was a dry rub then with chipotle,
Now
right?
try chipotle hot sauce. So it's got salt, pepper, and chipotle hot sauce, and it's been vacuum packed with that marination for 2 days in the fridge.
Now you said you had sweet potato as well.
Yes, I did. A diced sweet potatoes that were sautéed.
I think you said you had sweet potatoes on the episode I listened to this morning. Do you have sweet potato a lot?
And here's the thing:
Yes.
I eat sweet potatoes every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It's
He's
a
sweet
thing.
potato head.
I'm a sweet boy. I'm
Now
a sweet potato boy.
the red sweet potatoes are like the yellowy ones.
So are you asking if are you asking if they're like a true yam, or are you asking if they're like garnet sweet potatoes, which have the red skin?
I'm thinking of the ones that they're like more yellowish in color, but they're still
No,
a sweet
these are
potato.
bright orange. These are bright orange.
Bright orange. Okay.
Yeah, these are bright orange, especially when they get a little steam on them. That
Okay.
color
Right on.
pops.
It keeps the doctor away.
It's true.
Yeah, sweet potato a day keeps the doctor away. All right, Reeves.
So okay, yeah, I was last time you told us when to go. I'm very confused to how this segment works now. It has a name to it. Before you told us, but I guess I had chefs I prepared for you. I had a steak last night,
Nice.
sirloin. It was pan seared. Got the pan nice and hot, like 4 minutes each side, super easy. And then some wilted kale, a little bit of vinegar on it. Kept it simple.
Okay.
Brian.
All right, chef. Last night I prepared for you burritos from Dos Toros in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, with
Nice.
chips and guacamole from Dos Toros in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And it was chicken pollo asada. I'll go through the
Go through the layers.
What's inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
That had rice in it, of course, black beans, not pinto, lettuce, sour cream, cheese. Dos Toros does a thing, and this is why I like Dos Toros. No other place does this that I know. Is an option in your burrito is broken up tortilla chips inside of it, so it gives you a nice crunch inside of it, and that's how you win me. If you want me to go to your place, like put chips inside of something, and I'm gonna come to your establishment and I will order that.
Do they stay country? Do they stay crunchy throughout the experience?
And also answer if they stay country.
Yeah. I'd also like to know if they stay country. Okay.
Which sounds like a Bubba Sparks album, but he
stay country. Collie Power Bubba
Sparks. They don't, but it's still, even when they get soft, it's still more food inside of there, so I like it still. It's just because I like food.
When Brian was staying at my place once when he came to visit, because he lives in New York and I'm in DC, I said, let's order a pizza. And Brian said, can they put chips in the middle of the pizza? And I said, Brian, I don't know what you're talking about. If I call and ask them to do that, because it's not going to be on the website. That's not going to be a thing you can click.
Special
that
order.
says chips on the side in the middle of the pizza. And he was like, well, call them and figure it out. Don't be stingy. And he was staying with me. And he was like making these demands.
I think where I messed up is asked them to put it on the middle of the pizza and not in the crust. If I asked them to put it in the crust, they probably would have done that.
They probably would have known what you were talking about, because I was like, how's that work in the middle of the pizza? It's going to be swimming in sauce.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking straight.
I mean, either way, it's more food though, right?
Yeah. So can you just bring me a bag of Lay's and I'll pour them on the pizza myself? I don't care.
That's what I was going to ask, is what kind of chips are we talking here? Like Doritos?
That's what we had to do. I had to order
Cool
Lay's.
Ranch? Just plain original Lay's. Those are very soggy chips already.
No, I said that. Yeah, I said that, but immediately was like, that's not the chip. That's the grossest. Plain Lay's shouldn't exist at all. Even the flavored Lay's are tough. Like, unless you get like the ripples, they're just like, it's not a good consistency. They're too thin. They're kind of gross.
And you stay away from Pringles because you have an addiction. Like, once you start one, you can't really stop, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't stay away from that. I mean, all my friends eat Pringles, but they know not to offer me Pringles. Like, if I'm around them eating Pringles, they'll be like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "No, it's cool. Like, I know people are gonna eat Pringles. It's fine. Like, you can't avoid. People are gonna eat Pringles. We're all adults. We're gonna eat Pringles. You know.
Yeah, people are gonna do that.
I can't do it myself, and that's fine. I'll just go outside and punch the wall. That's what I learned in Pringles Anonymous, PA, Pennsylvania is where the classes were actually too. That's weird. Mm-hmm. Just didn't realize that.
All right, Ahsohn, what'd you have?
Chefs, last night I prepared for you some Korean barbecue, some kalbi short ribs, some spicy pork and tofu, and some chicken katsu, just to keep it spicy. and yeah, that's what I have prepared for you last night.
Wow, that's so much better
That
than what I
sounds
had.
good. Yeah.
So much better than what Brian had for sure.
Mine was good.
Yeah, but it wasn't that.
No, it wasn't that.
Ahsohn, do you like spicy food?
I do like spicy food. Yes.
Okay, I like spicy food.
I
Too.
think there is an upper limit of spice that makes food not fun to eat, though, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it starts making me sweating uncomfortably or like my nose running, I'm like, well, now this is not dinner anymore. This is just this is how
Yeah.
COVID started.
There's
So-
a there's a burger walk-up window in downtown LA. I believe it's called Meatzilla, and their specialty item is a burger where both of the buns are pizzas, like pepperoni
Wow.
Whoa.
pizzas. But so I've been there a couple times because how can you not, right?
Yeah, how can you not try
And
it?
and they they had like a promotion going for a burger that they called the Ghost Face Killer because it had like ghost chilies on it or something like that, ghost peppers or something on it.
Mhm.
And it was the spiciest thing I've ever had. Like I couldn't eat it.
Oof.
I took one bite and I was crying. I couldn't taste anything else but the the hot sauce on it, and it was very bad.
I don't like most people. I don't like things that are super spicy. But do you guys think there's anything you can order at a chain restaurant? Like there are exceptions, like this Meatzilla place and other places. Is there anything at a fast food chain restaurant that you think would be too spicy? Because like you see people go into restaurants and like, for example, this happened to me. I was in a tropical smoothie cafe. If you're familiar, it's a smoothie place that has like sandwiches, and the person's like,
can you explain more about it?
Yeah, can you? I don't get it. It's a
It's a
smoothie
smoothie-
cafe, but it has sandwiches.
Yeah, they have a couple sandwiches, a couple.
This
sandwiches.
sounds like a
Things
cafeteria or a deli.
Things like a Santa Fe wrap, like those sorts of sandwiches. And someone ordered, and he was like, "Can I have this? And is that spicy? Is that the answer? Is no. Nothing you can get from a
Yeah, the
chain
answer
is
is
going
no,
to
yeah.
be spicy enough for someone to be like yes, right?
In fact, if they're going to do that, they have to do an ad campaign for like, this is our new spicy chicken sandwich to let
But
everyone
even
know
those
this
things
is
aren't gonna
spicy.
be
Yeah,
spicy.
even that, it's not going to be spicy as if it were if you got it from like an authentic place. But
Yes.
they still have to say it. They
Yes.
can't just say, they can't like surprise you with it.
Mhm.
The general public.
I find
wants
it
to know.
interesting that he wasn't curious if the smoothies were spicy at all.
He
He just
What
assumed
about the
those weren't.
smoothies?
He
Yeah.
rolled the dice.
Yeah.
He's rolled the dice. He rolled the dice
Yeah.
on that.
He's just
Yeah.
assumed there's no cayenne pepper in here.
Yeah,
There's no way.
50% chili peppers.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
just a
take
red
out the
smoothie.
seeds. Yeah.
All the smoothies are red and grainy. You're like,
Yeah.
no, there's no way there's spice in here. There's no way. It's got to be in the sandwich, in a smoothie shop. Well, okay, that's if you like spicy food, then you should get spicy food. If you don't, you'll be thrown for a loop, and that's a great segue into the title of this week's episode.
Seamless.
We'll talk more about that after this break. Hey everyone, we're back, and let's talk about episode 4, Thrown for a Loop, season 18. We're in Portland. First question for Ahsohn: have you ever watched Top Chef before?
All right, so I thought I had. I was very sure. I was very sure I had seen Top Chef. But as soon as I started watching it, it became very clear to me I'd never seen the show ever. Because at first I thought, like my mind, I think that I was thinking of Chopped, right? And I was like, oh, I've seen Top Chef, and I had like Chopped in my head, and then I realized, oh, okay, none of those people are here, so this must be a different show. And then I guess I had thought maybe it was Iron Chef, but then it clearly is not that. And so yeah, I realized I had never seen this before, and because of that, this is for a reality show, like a reality cooking competition show. It is not very new viewer friendly. Like it's like a Christopher Nolan movie where it doesn't really hold your hand like through any of it.
It
You kinda
expects
just
you
like-
to do the work.
Yeah, it expects you to do the work and
Yeah.
know all the characters and stuff. So I was really thrown in the deep end on this episode, and I have very fundamental questions about how the universe of the show works.
Wonderful.
Who the people are. Yeah, so we can get into all that.
Yes,
But I was
wonderful.
very confused for like the first 10 minutes.
Well,
Yes, we'll field all those questions. And
Yeah.
what we're finding is anyone who's never seen the show, it does feel super unfriendly to just watch
Yeah.
a standalone episode and trying
Like it
to
only gives
understand the
people a lower
weirdness.
third with their name, like sometimes, and I'm just like, I don't know who any of these people are. But anyway, we can get into that. But no, I suffice to say, I'd never seen Top Chef before.
Okay, all right. So this episode starts out with them doing a quickfire challenge, and this is one of Brian's favorite kinds of quickfire challenges, isn't it? Because it's an ad.
Because it's a commercial, which I pointed out to my wife yesterday. I was like, "Oh, cool, another commercial," which she responded by saying, "They're all commercials," and I said, "They're not. They're not."
Well, that's a good point. They're not always commercials, but this season it has been only commercials in the quick fire, which kind of makes it a little boring and predictable. Because normally they have like different kinds of like it's like ingredient specific, but it's not like an ad. It's like I don't know, you can only use certain kinds of fruit or something like that. But this one, it's all ads. They're selling all the time. They've got to make enough funds to pay for all of these past winners to be judges. I don't know what's going on.
That's true.
All right, so I think that's a good segue. Can I ask a question before we actually get to the quickfire challenge about like sort of the beginning part of the episode?
Yep, let's do it.
Do they, while they're on this competition show, do they live together?
Yes. They're in a bubble right now.
Together.
It used to be a bigger deal in the earlier seasons where it was kind of had like a bit of like a real world vibe to it, where they would like I don't know, bully each other and have problems. And now this season's very nice, and we don't talk about when they go home.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Because I didn't know that the real world kind of we all live together vibe was part of it. So that threw me off at first. I'm like, why are we in an apartment? It was very weird. So yeah, that now that we got that established, we can go on into the quickfire challenge.
I also think this is the first episode that actually is this the first one that opened with them actually at the apartment they're staying at where they're living? Because the other ones were like starting at like them walking out of the judges table.
I think they're at a hotel, right? And they all have their own
hotel
rooms and stuff like that. Yeah, I think this might be one of the first times that we got like a little bit of like a setup of them like hanging out beforehand. Usually it is like for this season at least, which is like different from all the other ones. Usually jumps right into the quick fire. But yeah, we got a little bit ahead of time. We got to see Gabe talk to his kids about how that they're fans of Top Chef. Maybe they're fans of our podcast. Who knows?
They probably are. They
probably are.
That's our demographic.
Review. Yeah, children. Yep.
So Reeves, you want to segue us into your first clip?
Yeah. So they walk into the kitchen and they're ready to do the quick fire, and Padma's just setting up, letting them know what they got to do for this quick fire.
Good morning. Morning. If there's one thing this year has taught us, it's that we should all keep our pantries very well stocked.
Yes.
And that's like cooking 101, Padma.
Right.
We all know that.
Okay. I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. It's kind of a twofold question, and I feel like I need to ask you because you guys watch the show all the time. One, who is the host of the show?
Okay, and this is a good question because
Yeah.
people think it's a combination of a three-headed dragon, but it's they think is it Tom? Is it Padma? Is it Gail? Officially, isn't it Tom Colicchio's show?
No, wrong.
And I'm wrong. Okay, so I don't even know. So this is a great question. Let's get this out here.
Padma Lakshmi is the host.
Okay.
Padma Lakshmi.
Tom.
Okay.
So then what is
head
Tom?
judge. He's the head judge.
Head judge.
Wow, and I'm confused on that.
Yes. And so Ahsohn doesn't even see any of these people because Ahsohn sees Padma and Dale. And Dale is a former contestant.
Right.
Yes.
Who has now come back to help judge.
Yeah.
In this season, a lot of the people, because Ahsohn sees Dale, Carrie again, Melissa, and it's everybody. And then they
I feel like every time they cut to a wide shot of all the chefs and then cut back to the judges area, there's different people there. And so it became very confusing throughout the episode for me. And then, not to jump too far ahead, but when we get to the orchard scene, and there's like literally like a comedically large table with like 20 people sitting around it, and they're all somehow important to the show. And I'm like, who are these people? But yeah, I was
They're
very
all past
lost. But, okay,
contestants.
so Padma Lakshmi is the host. Tom is the head chef or head judge.
Yes.
Head judge.
And Dale is a
And-
former contestant.
Yes. Yeah. And then
Okay.
everyone else at that table were former contestants who are helping judge this season. They're all quarantined together, except for Gail Simmons, who is another judge. Gail and Tom are the judges. Padma's the host.
Gotcha.
She also judges. It's a little confusing.
And now this has been cleared up for me as well. And it's starting to feel like, Ahsohn, it's starting to feel like maybe black people are just confused about this show and how this show is broken out.
Maybe. I don't know if the show is put together the best for people who have like never seen it before.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there also just might be too many people on the show.
Well, that's
That's
for
true.
sure. That's for sure. There's way
That's
Now,
too many.
Tom
definitely
does
true.
host Last Chance Kitchen, and he's also the judge
Yes.
of Last Chance Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even more confusing because that's Tom's second show
Yeah,
where he
only
actually lets his
online.
hair down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's where Tom has all of his
His
fun. on
metaphorical
Last Chance
hair.
Kitchen. Yeah.
Yes. And so,
His proverbial
Reeves, did you
hair.
pick this clip
Yes.
because you feel like Padma said that the one thing that this pandemic has taught us is to keep your pantry stocked and nothing else about this pandemic? Is
Yeah.
that why you picked this clip?
That's exactly what I was thinking, and I'm glad that she came out and said it because that's the only thing I've learned about COVID is to keep your pantry as packed as possible, and then nothing else. You don't have to do anything else. Just learn
Yeah.
that one thing. So I'm glad she got that out there. For
I'm glad she was brave enough to touch on that.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it is a dicey subject to talk about.
Yeah.
Now is she? Now let me ask you guys because you watch this every week. Is she good at what she
Yes.
does?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
she is good.
Okay.
She's
She's a
way
fixture
more
on the
relaxed.
series.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, because I was getting like very like it almost seemed like at least for the first scene, like this first challenge, it seemed like she kind of didn't want to be there, and maybe she was just having a rough day. I don't
Yeah.
know, but I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
get
I just
that
was
with her
wondering if
sometimes.
she's normally a little bit more lively. Okay.
This
All right.
season's weird. I think everyone's a little on edge. It is during they shot it during quarantine. She's usually very friendly. It also helps that we watched the first season, which had a different host whose name was Katie
Oh.
Lee Joel, who was
Mhm.
married to Billy Joel at the time, and she was terrible.
Yeah.
So like to
Okay.
go from her to Padma, you're like, oh, Padma's the best host in the entire world.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
And so that's for the Bravo listeners, the Top Chef lawyers who are listening. That was Ahsohn who said that about Padma and not any of the hosts that Tom told to make the podcast about. I just want that on the record.
We love Padma. We're also, one quick note, my wife is very upset that we didn't mention Padma's bangs last week, so let's get it out there. Yes, last week Padma had bangs. We missed it. All right, guys. If there's a blind spot in Pod Chef, it is that we don't talk about women's hair enough, and I will do my best to change that from now on. And I said, aren't I not supposed to talk about that kind of stuff? And my wife said, no, it's her hair. She made that choice. You can talk about it. So I will now comment
made
on
that
Padma's hair
choice.
all the time.
All right.
That's
Now
the
we got
pass.
carte blanche to do that. That's
Yeah.
good.
Now we can do
That's
it.
good.
Just so we're clear, if someone makes a choice, we're perfectly in the clear to criticize.
We're
it.
allowed to criticize it and talk about it. They made that choice. They knew what they were doing.
Got it.
I think
Got
so.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's very different from the world I know. All right. So they're tasked with in this quickfire. The chefs were given 30 minutes to create a dish evoking a food memory using Campbell's soup products, and the winner would receive immunity and also $10,000, but not $10,000 after taxes. That's for sure. So they all start.
Uncle Sam needs his bit. Bless his heart.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Uncle Sam's always in everyone's bag, literally.
Jamal, is this
Um,
podcast just like a secret opportunity for you to spout your libertarian tax views?
Well,
And now I'm found out. I didn't know I was so transparent. Okay, you learn something every day. The more people you talk to and meet, you learn how other people perceive you. And now I'm transparent, and I'm figuring that out. All right.
This quickfire, though it was a commercial quickfire, which I love, this quickfire kind of sucked. I think that
it
having
sucked.
Dale and Padma try to make me believe that they like Campbell's condensed soup I wasn't buying it at all. It didn't work for me. The fact that none of them made soups is a problem for me.
Yeah, Brian, you're always pushing for them to just do the ingredient. Just heat up the soup. You already got the soup there. Just
Look, I'll tell you how to make Campbell's tomato soup. You add water to it and put it on the stove.
It's right there in front of you.
Yeah.
Brian makes tomato soup. He smashes up a bunch of tomatoes, throws them into like a gallon of water, and says, "Let it boil. It'll take all day."
And then no, I guess because she told them not to do it, but nobody made green bean casserole, which is the one thing I know how to make with any of those ingredients. It's green bean casserole.
Okay, well that could have been your jam right there.
No, because she said don't do casseroles.
So she knew that would have been a shortcut.
Yes.
That would have been a shortcut.
Jamal, did you grow up eating like cream of mushroom baked chicken?
No, I did not.
Maybe it's not as universal throughout the African American community as I thought. And I was gonna say, like, as soon as they announced that it was like the Campbell's Soup Challenge, I was like, and I saw the cream of mushroom, I'm like, somebody's got to make, like, one of these black people on the show has to make baked chicken with cream of mushroom on it. Because like I feel like I ate that once a week growing up.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had that.
Really?
I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
It. I'm saying at home, but I've seen it at my friend's house. I've seen that at my friend's house, but I've never had it. Like I've never had it in my house as like a staple.
I feel
But
like
yeah.
my mom used
No,
to
it is.
make
It is very good, and I think Don ended up making a play on it. Really?
Mhm.
Okay,
I think
there you
so.
go.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's like. I guess it might have been cream mushroom, but it definitely was cream of something soup and baked chicken with like bacon bits in it.
Okay. Do you want to discuss your mom being part of the black community?
Well,
Yeah, I was going to say, your
I was
mom,
trying.
member of the black
I was
community
like,
that you know of?
I was trying to make a connection. I was like, maybe it has like Southern roots, and maybe that's why.
Maybe.
But I don't know. It's good though.
Here's the cream-based product I had growing up: cream of wheat. Now that was a
Cream of
staple.
wheat is very good. Cream of wheat is very
That
good.
was
I
a-
eat that almost every day.
Yeah, that was literally my mom would make cream of wheat and leave a note on it, and she'd go to work, and I'd wake up and I'd be like, "Ooh, I got breakfast! I got breakfast!" I'd eat my cream of wheat and dump a ton of sugar into it, and then walk to the bus, and I am hyperactive at 7
Wait, so what does this note say? You mentioned this note. A different note every day. What does this note say?
Oh, so the note's the same every day, and now I'm bringing you guys into how loving my mom is. My mom every day when I was a kid, after she'd make me either breakfast or if she had to make dinner and leave and go to her work, she'd leave a note on the food that was just an eyeball, and then a heart, and then a U.
That's very
I love you.
nice.
But she didn't write it out. She just put an eyeball, a heart, and then a U.
Does she ever text that to you now that we have cell phones?
No, she doesn't.
What if you texted her that right now? What would she do?
I don't know. You want me to do that right now?
Do you
I
think you'd
think
cry
so.
if when she responded?
She would probably cry if you text her that right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll do it right now.
And
Send that
then you got to
message.
say, "This is for all the cream of wheats."
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. An eyeball.
She's gonna respond. What are you talking? What are you doing?
Yeah. I don't remember this. I thought you were
Okay,
just
we'll
going to
see what she
say
says.
just an eyeball, and it was going to
And
be
then
like
I-
something like "I'm watching you" or something like that.
I'm watching you.
Yeah. Please be good.
And I put, "That's for all the breakfasts you made."
That's very sweet.
But you said it confrontational to us. Is that how you're texting it?
No,
Is that the tone? Is it in all caps?
Yeah, it is in all caps. Okay, let me back that up. Okay. Know your audience. Know your audience. Be softer. Be softer. Okay. All right, we'll see what she says. I sent it to her. That's real. That's a real thing. I'd come downstairs and I'd see the note and I'd take it off and take the saran wrap off the top of the cream of wheat, gobble it down, and go catch the bus.
That's really sweet.
And Fridays were a great day because I get like pancakes or French toast. There's always some fancy thing on
Wow.
Fridays.
Mhm.
Damn.
And then when I got older, my mom said, "Don't be relying on women to cook for you. You're gonna learn how to cook. Get your ass in the kitchen." So, and I know how to cook. So where were we? Oh yeah, no one used the soups. Everyone just used the soups to make. Everyone just used the soups as like some side thing to sit on their dish or like a sauce. That's great. So let's hear when the judges are tasting the food. Let's hear what Padma says about Shota's food and what Shota does.
A prima mushroom chawanmushi with crab salad right on top.
Did you mean for the chawanmushi to be this loose?
Yeah, I like it pretty loose. Not really.
Okay.
And
All right.
yeah, and I don't want to turn this podcast blue, but I don't like when my chawanmushi is loose either.
I like that you preface that with "I don't want to," but the subtext was "I have to do this."
We have to talk about the chawanmushi.
That's not. The
I
take
want
was
to.
gonna
I
have
want a
on that
tight
bit.
chawanmushi.
That's God. No. So we got to
What's-
write down
what
time stamp
39?
this one.
Here's what I took from that clip. Shota laughs a lot. And so does Sarah. There's a
Yes.
lot of
Yeah.
laughers this season who during their interviews it
Yes.
seems like they explain something and then end with just like laughing. And I don't know if they just only use those clips or that's just how they talk. But I feel like they can at this point they can just cut that laugh part out. Like we just need the information they give us.
You think it undercut the tension of those fighting words that Padma threw down?
Probably.
Yeah.
Because I like to
Yeah.
imagine that the question she asked him was like those are fighting words in the chef world, you know?
Yeah.
Mean for your chawanmushi to be so loose.
Let's see here. I can't challenge her. She's the host. Stand by my dish. Stand by my dish. Yeah. I meant for my chawanmushi to be that loose. I like it that way. I like it runny. I like it runny and gross. That's how I
So here, this is fun. We're all having a good time. This is very funny that this happened, but this does have a sad. This has a sad outcome. So I was talking to Tom. Tom called me. And he's like, "Do you like the episode?" I was like, "Yeah, of course. I love the episode. I love this show." He's like, "Well, here's what happened. So Padma had a watch party for this episode. She invited all of her friends over. Tom was there. Gail was there. All the past contestants were there. It was a huge blowout. It was a huge
Wow.
party. Watching this episode, she was like, "Y'all gotta watch this episode." She was like, "It was great." I call out Shota for having this loose chawanmushi, and everyone's like, "Oh, great! I can't wait for it." So they're all watching it, and it's coming up. She's like, "Oh, here it is! Here!" And they watch it, and she's not seen the confessionals yet.
Yeah.
So she thinks that she's got one over Shota, and it turns out that she learned in front of all of her friends that Shota lied to her and embarrassed her on national TV.
Her.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "What?" And Tom was like, "Padma, it's okay." And she said, "Everyone get out."
Yeah.
Everyone out of the party,
Party's over.
including her family. Her family, yeah, she was party's over. She says, "You don't have to go home.
You got to
but
get the
you
hell
should
out of
go
here.
home because it's late.
Yeah.
And everything's closed."
And some of those people live there, and she was like, "You guys got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Be alone."
Yeah. So it was sad. Shota thinks he's being a little trickster, and it turns out that he actually hurt someone's feelings in front of all of her friends.
Yeah, Shota is trying to be a little low-key right now and be a little trickster god and pulling pranks on Padma, but we all know that she got him in the room. She won.
Yeah.
Like he got his on the back end, but in the room she won.
Yeah.
She
Does
knew.
that mean Padma Lakshmi is Thor in this illustration?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, in the
She's Thor.
TC
Gotcha.
universe, she's Thor. Yeah.
Yes.
TCU.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's Batman?
Ooh boy, that's
That's
great.
gotta be
That's
Tom.
a great question.
Tom, right? Yeah,
That's
Tom.
gotta be Tom.
That's Tom. It's got to be Tom.
Yeah,
That's
He's-
gotta be Tom.
Oh, I thought Tom was the Joker.
I thought we said he was the Riddler too at one point.
He does
We gotta
wear a lot
nail
of
these
makeup.
characters down. We have to nail these characters down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to figure out who's who.
We'll figure it out.
But Chris wins. Chris Viad, who's on my team, he wins. He makes grilled cheese. Officially, he makes grilled cheese panzanella with tomato soup vinaigrette. and pickled shallots, and everyone's like, "Wow, that tastes so. That sounds good. It tasted good. He won. It's a big deal for me. It's that's 3 points for me and my team."
The thing is, and this is only the second that I can remember that someone on Top Chef makes grilled cheese, and both times it wins. In season 2, Betty makes Bada Bing Betty's grilled cheese and tomato soup, and it wins, and it gets on TGI Fridays. And on this, Chris Viad makes. People like grilled cheese, and now I'm doing Seinfeld.
I like grilled cheese.
What's the deal with grilled cheese?
Grilled cheese.
You've got the tomato soup. Put cheese between bread. Boom.
Yeah.
Dinner.
So Brian really doesn't
easy
like
dinner.
it when they do any kind of fancy food. He wants it to be food that he's familiar with and comfortable with.
Yeah.
And if people do anything too
Yes.
hoity-toity, he gets very upset about it. And the portions are too small. He doesn't like that. They have to be a reasonable size for a meal.
I don't mind when the portions are too small. I mind when people say the portions are too big. That's when I get upset.
That's
when
true.
you point out, they're like, "Well, this is too much food." And
That's
it's like,
true.
who is this for?
Brian's very defensive about that.
Gabe served 3 oysters to everyone. Give me 100 oysters. Give me at least a dozen.
Brian
Sorry, not
refuses to.
Gabrielle.
Brian refuses to go to any restaurant that just does small plates.
Yeah.
He's like, I want large
Sushi.
plates. Yeah, sushi. Who's this for?
Have I told you guys what I have when I go to sushi?
No.
Please
a bowl
tell
of
us
rice
that.
and a whole raw fish.
I jump behind the counter.
They give you that fish that they salt and cook underneath the salt, and they bring it out, and they break the salt and say, "Here you go. It's all for you."
Just seaweed fresh from the ocean. Just drag in a bushel of seaweed.
Me in a seaweed place is much like a whale getting
Do you want to think this one out?
Fish,
Krill?
nope, I got it. Fish through krill through its baleen teeth. As I walk in the place and I just go, and I just take everything and I get all stuff in there and I grab it with my hand and I eat it.
You also
Okay.
walk in with your mouth open and just kind of
Yeah.
clear all the
Yeah.
space. You go up and down and up and down.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's the best way to eat.
And
it all, yeah.
and that's on that new Disney whale documentary too. I'm in it.
Sometimes Brian gets up from his seat and just will like do a body slam into someone else's table,
And people don't know why I do it. People are always wondering why I do it.
and I have to be like, "He's just knocking off barnacles. It's fine."
Mhm.
Yeah, I just do it sometimes. Ugh, me and my friends, we have this secret language that no one else talks. It's great.
All right, so that's the the quick fire challenge. Do you have any questions, Ahsohn, when it comes to the quick fire anymore?
Has anyone ever won a challenge by making a salad? Because one of the contestants made a salad, and I literally just wrote in all caps "salad" on my notes because that just seems like a terrible idea.
I don't know. I'm sure they have when they do like a salad,
Yeah.
salad quick fire, and they're like, "Make a
Like,
quick fire
yeah.
salad."
It just seemed like, I don't know, salad just has no place in. If everyone else is making entrees,
Yeah.
someone made. Come on.
If you're making a salad, you got to cook. This is Top Chef.
Yeah, come on.
Yes, that's a big thing. Is if it's, I think it was Kiki, and oh man, Kiki
She
had
had
a
a tough time.
had a rough.
She had a rough episode.
episode.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she did some sort of like thing, and they were like, "Oh, it's like a warm salad," which sounds really gross. Yeah, I think usually when you do salad, people are like, "You just did a salad." You don't ever. It can maybe be the side, maybe you do something else, like a salad, but like. A lot of times in like Restaurant Wars, which is the big episode where 2 teams compete to open up restaurants, if one person gets stuck doing the salad, it's kind of like you just did a salad, and it's never good.
Yeah, it's never good.
It's a
It's
mistake.
like, what'd you do for 4 hours? Well, I chopped tomatoes and lettuce. I had to make sure it looked good on the plate.
I had to wait until you came over.
Yeah, I
to
had
put
to
the
wait
sauce,
because I can't just
the
I
dressing
can't
on,
just
'cause it would get
serve. I
soggy.
can't just put I don't want to make a soggy salad, so I had to wait,
Mhm.
watch over it like a hawk. I batted some flies away that tried to land on the salad. That took up about 10 minutes. I was busy back there. All right, so elimination challenge. The chefs have to venture out to Mount View Orchards at the Hood River Fruit Loop, which was an interesting thing to learn about. And what they had to do was incorporate locally grown fruit into a dish. And I want to say on the drive out there, Kiki is like checking out the landscape. She's like, "Oh, I understand why people want to live in Oregon now." Which shots fired to Oregon.
She couldn't fathom it otherwise.
Yeah, before it never crossed. Like, why do someone want to live here? Why here?
They go into this thinking, "Oh, we're going to the Fruit Loop," which is, hey, you know what? It's not a cereal.
Yeah, it's not.
Not
If that's where you're thinking where they grow Fruit Loops, you're wrong. That's not where it's at.
They grow those in a jungle. That's why there's a toucan.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Box.
Not
So yeah,
in
so they're
Oregon.
like, we have to use a fruit, and then they get there, and then hold up. There's more to this.
Tom Colicchio is not there, but he does send his minions with his word.
Yes,
And he
many
lets them know,
tentacles.
go tell them that they're cooking in vegetation. They shall not use vegetation in their dishes. They can only use a protein and the fruit. And they tell them, you can't use vegetables with this dish. It must only have a protein and fruit. What would you guys do if they told you that? I didn't think it was that crazy.
Yeah,
that like
neither
hard
did
to
I.
do.
I mean, no garlic, no onion. That's in everything.
As soon as they said that, I thought to myself, I cook with no vegetables almost every night. But then I started to think about it, and I guess I do. You cook with more vegetables than you think you do.
Yeah.
Because if you take away garlic and onion, that's a big deal. But like
Yeah.
my mind went to broccoli. I'm like, no meal I've ever had would be ruined if there was no broccoli.
And now take that, broccoli.
Yeah,
Good luck coming
that's how
back
I feel
from
about
that
broccoli.
one.
Yeah, but no, that onion and garlic's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, they took it in stride. They were like Maria, whom we love Maria, was upset because they took away all of her chilies. Which, yeah, that makes sense. She can't. She cooks with heat. She cooks Spanish flavors. Can't do it.
Gabriel said he loves the nature and then was like mad that there were bees.
Yeah, there was a lot of destruction of bees, which in this
Yeah.
environment, when we're supposed to be saving the bees,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I found
was
that
upsetting.
really upsetting. Yes, it made me angry because they should actually be trying to save them instead of destroying
Yeah.
them. So
You should
much.
be trying to incorporate them into the meal, if anything.
Yeah.
Like, let them do whatever they want to do. Don't try and bat them away and say, get out of here.
because they're in bee territory. The bees didn't go out
Exactly.
looking for them.
Yeah,
Like they went out to
Exactly.
where the bees are. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're the outsider. Yeah.
Mhm.
You wouldn't go surfing and then get attacked by a shark and say, kill these sharks. Kill these sharks. I'm trying to surf right now. Why are there sharks in my surfing spot? Makes no sense to me as a surfer.
I think that's smart. Yeah, I think you should just let sharks eat you if you go in the ocean. You're in their zone.
Yeah.
That's just what happens.
Just let it bite you. After it bites you, it goes and dies. Just take the bite.
Yeah.
It can only bite you once.
Yeah. And once the shark finds out you're not a seal and you taste gross, it's going to let you go.
Yeah,
So what's
whatever-
the issue,
leave me
people?
alone.
Yeah. Whatever's left
Oh
of
my
you is just
God.
going to be able to try and
Sharks
swim
are
back
more
to-
afraid of you than you are afraid of them.
Yes,
Exactly. Yeah, sharks are like the dogs of the ocean. They
Mhm.
test things with their mouth. What you don't get mad at a dog for like testing how you taste.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this guy's playful. He's funny. What, a shark just because it weighs like 2 tons, it's a problem now?
And again, you are in a shark's home. It is just protecting its queen, which we know is Ursula.
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
And also,
It's the queen.
also, maybe don't mimic the behavior of its number one prime food and look like a seal while you're out there. And so now we're going to get letters from Kelly Slater about this episode.
No, I love bees, and as much as I try to be cool around bees, when it flies out your face, you gotta go, "Huh!" It's just what happens.
Yes, it does.
It's just naturally what happens. I get it. I love a bee. I don't want to kill a bee, but if it gets in my face, I go, "Huh!" I'm like, swing my hand.
Mhm.
No one
Bees
can see
will
if I'm
swarm.
Swinging my hand. All right, feet freaks. They start running around using their feet. Maria sweating in places that shouldn't be allowed. And does anyone know where that might be? Where is sweating not allowed?
Let me
Do
think.
you have the rule book handy?
Yeah, let me.
We should look it up. Well, we know it's definitely allowed
Let
on
me
your
look it up.
head because people often we see people sweating into the food on Top Chef like all the
Yes.
time.
So that's a
that's
little insider.
Definitely, yeah, it's definitely allowed in your armpits. We see that on TV all the time.
Yes, we see that on TV.
I don't know where sweat wouldn't be allowed. I mean, as far as my body is concerned, like even if I tried to disallow it from going someplace, it's gonna go there anyway. It does not listen to me. I'm like, hey, can you not make my ass so wet when I get up to the seat is wet? And it goes, and it says, shut up. I'm still doing that. I'm gonna do that. I've tried to this. I have told sweat to not go so many places on my body, and you know what? It does it anyway, and I can't stop it. Maria, if you can figure out a way to stop sweat going where you don't want it to, please tell me.
Write a review in our podcast. and
Yeah,
explain
write
to
a
Brian
review and
what's the
let us
easiest
know.
way.
Let's talk about another no-no that happened. Avishar wants to make risotto. Now, this is a big deal. Ahsohn, if you don't know this, everyone who makes risotto on this show fails and fails miserably.
We
it's
on Podchef call it a uh-oh. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
And this is the new.
This is
getting
a new
names.
This
for
is season
everything.
1. This is season 1 stuff here. Go back, listen to season 1.
Okay.
It's season 1 stuff. We're making t-shirts.
Yeah. Maybe skip over season 1. We didn't really do
Have
that.
you
great.
have you all ever
Yes.
tried to make a risotto?
Yeah.
I have.
I have not.
I've done it. Yeah.
No. You guys should do that as like a. Do it on the pod. See who makes the best risotto.
That's
That's
a
a good
great
idea.
challenge. And now, do we owe you? If that takes off, do we owe
Mm-hmm.
you some shekels?
Yeah. I'll take my finder's fee.
Okay.
For that.
All right.
That seems
And
fair.
you get paid in music, right? Because you're a DJ.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get paid. Yeah, I get paid in people's original music. So you all have to go and record a song
Okay.
and then send it to me as payment.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, we can do that.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Let's listen to Avishar talk about the risotto, and also Tom kind of giving him a hint not to do that.
What do you got going on here? I was gonna cold smoke some cheddar. I know apple goes well with cheddar. And I wanted to do kind of like I call it a Ohio-to. Ohio-to is a word that I just made up. Because I'm from Ohio, I'm gonna try and make almost like a risotto sort of thing. Because I don't want to do risotto. I know if I do risotto, you're gonna judge me very harshly. So.
Oh, you can do it. Just do it right.
Yeah.
Ooh, did you hear Tom there? If you're gonna do it right.
Avishar's a fan of the show. He knows that you don't make risotto, but he's still doing it. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
It's
Look,
that's a
anytime a
mistake.
judge comes over and says that, you gotta not do it.
You gotta not do it. I think that he has a nervous tick when he doesn't know what to say. He just talks about Ohio or tries to tie his food into Ohio because every single episode he like will not stop talking about it and coming up with names for things with Ohio in it. I don't think I think it's just like a tick that he has or something.
I wonder if he has opinions on LeBron James.
Oh, I would love to know his opinions
Oh,
on LeBron James.
man.
Did you guys see this? This just came out. My wife sent this to me on Instagram. It's like some bar owner in Ohio said that he will no longer show basketball games or Lakers games until LeBron is like taken out of the league because he's like this right wing idiot guy. And LeBron quote tweeted it and said, "Oh man, I was planning on going there later for a drink too." Completely roasted this guy.
How dumb do you think he feels? He's like,
Yeah, that-
oh man, that would have been great business for me.
Yeah, LeBron was gonna come there. Everyone would have showed up.
Yeah,
What an
everyone
idiot.
would have showed up.
What an idiot! Everyone would have been there. And Anthony Davis would have come. You know that he drinks a lot of beers, right? Meta World Peace shows up. Lakers. He's drinking.
Meta World Peace.
Apparently isn't his name now. I heard his name said somewhere, and it's not that anymore. But it's still.
Did you
something
stop
World
watching
Peace.
basketball like 7 years ago?
I did. I started watching again, but I still like those references. Meta World Peace is going to show up.
Brian keeps asking when Charles is going to put the jersey back on, and why he keeps catching him only at the post game report.
I'm mostly wondering where's Kerry Kittles. There's all this Brooklyn Nets are doing great right now. They got Durant, they got Irving, they got Harden. I'm like, where's Kittles? He's
be
good.
injured.
Where is he? Yeah, Kerry Kittles must be injured. They need him.
Right.
Also, before we get to
what team is Amari Stoudemire on now?
This episode's already very long, but I just want to make sure that we're not squandering an opportunity here, Reeves and I, to talk wrestling with Ahsohn. We could do it later.
Yeah.
We'll put a pin in that because we do know that Ahsohn, you watch AEW, right?
Casually.
Okay.
Casually.
Okay. That's
yeah.
I watch that one. I watch Impact and also sometimes NXT.
Okay. Yeah. I'll probably watch enough that we can talk about stuff for sure.
All right.
Okay.
Fans, get ready, fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, get ready, fans. I'm
The
right
zero-
there with you, fans.
The
We're all
zero
getting
people
ready.
that want to hear about wrestling on this podcast.
So let's cut to them giving them their food. The judges are, they lick one of the plates clean, Gabe's dish. They lick it clean, which is maybe the best feedback you can get. They hate Avishar's dish because it's just risotto with like 3 little pieces of apple in it, and the rice is somehow al dente and mushy at the same time. The judges are complimenting Chris, and that's super important because, again, he's on my team. He's already won the quickfire, so he's doing good. They like Gabriel's oysters, which I thought looked pretty interesting. He had a take on oysters with the fruit, 3 different oysters.
It's cheating. It's cheating. Doing oysters on Top Chef is cheating. Oysters and scallops is cheating. It's cheating. They were like, "Oh, you put good fruit on this," and it's oyster.
How did you feel about it when he kind of dogged on New York City as well? You said
He kind of said
there's no trees or anything like that.
Well, I'm moving to New Jersey, so I get it. But I do want to say that when he was talking about New York City, it showed a clip of him outside of Kraft, which is Tom's restaurant. Did you guys know Pascuzzi worked for Tom?
I think he mentioned it once, twice, or 300 times in the first 3 episodes.
This is very fun for Ahsohn, because not only does he not know Top Chef, he doesn't know our podcast, and we do inside jokes about Top Chef. He's just like, cool, this is great.
I'm just taking it in, out of context jokes.
Pascuzzi, Gabriel mentions every show that he used to work for Tom. It's great. I think it's what's keeping him in the show.
Mm-hmm.
My other
Surprised they
teammate
allowed that.
Yeah.
Well, Tom says that he won't. He might even judge him more hard. He says.
Yeah.
So
Tom said I might be a worse guy
Sure.
than I was at the restaurant.
He's also at this point the only white guy left on the show, so he like kind of he either has
Go
he
ahead.
either has a target on his back or he's gonna go all the way.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay.
It's not wrong.
All right, so let's get to Kiki.
Yeah,
let's get to Kiki. Let's get to what we want to talk about, Kiki. Let's play this clip and then let's talk about Kiki.
Kiki's fried chicken was unfortunately a little undercooked.
Mine's not undercooked, it's raw. This is one of those things where you have a small tabletop fryer, and then you wonder why it's not cooked. It's just risky.
Was everyone's chicken raw?
Everyone, across the board, the whole table.
Wow.
I have a question about this particular segment.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are we to believe that the reason why her chicken wasn't cooked to temperature, are we to believe that had anything to do with the windiness outside? Because it seemed like they were trying to make it about that. And I'm not an air fryer expert, or excuse me, not an air fryer, but like a tabletop fryer expert.
Yeah.
But I don't think that the external temperature of where you're cooking has anything to do with how well the fryer works, right? I could be wrong.
Well,
was
they are in
really
the Fruit
breezy.
Loop.
Yeah.
They're in the Fruit Loop, and the wind is
Granted,
trapped
yeah.
in that loop, and it's just going around and around and around. So it might bring in a cold front with it that then cools down bubbling oil.
Yeah. Well, they
To
had
the
that
point
clip.
where you're, yeah.
They had that clip where she pulled some chicken out and it just had like frost coming off of it because it basically just turned it into a big ice box because it was so cold out there.
But to answer your question, from what I know, no, air shouldn't actually be able to cool down bubbling hot oil that's in a fryer and affect your cooking.
I thought maybe I was confused.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
They did edit it like, oh, she's dealing with the force, the elements. She's dealing with the elements. Will she get it
and
right?
I'm like, I don't know if this has anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Tom told the cameraman, get a shot of that grill that's not being used behind her.
Yeah, I thought that was a real dick move too.
Right?
Yeah, like that's not fair. Like he went up to her, was like, "Huh, you're gonna fry those chicken wings, huh? With a grill sitting right there. Like, what difference does that make? She's making the meal that she wants to make."
That's not how I
don't know. I
done
just
it.
thought that was unfair.
Yeah.
As if grilling the wings is any more normal than frying wings. They're about the same as normal. If not, frying is more normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look. The judges act surprised. Everyone's act surprised that this is what Kiki served them was raw wings. I also appreciate Carrie Baird there saying like, anyone else chicken undercooked? And everyone's like, no, it's raw. It's all raw. When Kiki first says like, I'm gonna do chicken wings, she says I'm gonna fuck up these chicken wings, which slang teaches us that she could be saying I'm gonna fuck up as in I'm gonna do a good job, but fuck up also could mean I'm gonna do bad, and I think she meant do bad because she did real bad.
She did real bad. I think she said I'm.
Yeah. Was she talking about how she's going to fuck up these judges' stomachs with salmonella because I'm not going to cook any of these? I think she did it on purpose. She was trying to poison everyone. She was like, "This is the only way to get through this challenge. Is if they can't make it to the judges' table."
The easiest way to get a redo is everyone can't judge and everyone's sick and vomiting.
I know that she is a professional chef, so she shouldn't have this fear, but I'm terrified to cook wings. I've never once been confident enough to cook wings because I feel like it never cooks through. I feel like it's always going to be, because it's a lot of meat, and you cook them very fast, and I'm always afraid that they're going to be raw. Like, I've never done it.
When you're cooking wings, do you often have the air conditioning in your house on?
And I have the windows open, too.
Or a fan going.
See, that is your problem right there.
Yeah.
You've got too much airflow.
Yeah. All right. I'll try it next time, and I'll have the heat.
You're gonna want to shut those windows, turn the heat on.
Yeah. You're gonna want to be either shirtless or something. But if you're not sweating, then the wings aren't sweating.
Do you think it'll help if I'm hot too? Should I also be wearing? Would it make the wings hotter if I'm hot?
Right after you get out of the sauna, that's when you should be.
You know, the best wings I've ever. the best wings I've ever had were during a hot yoga class. It was when I tell you the best wings I've ever had, it's just mwah, chef's kiss.
So yeah, she served raw chicken.
The judges' table was almost a formality this week, right?
Yeah.
Like when I was like, are they going to send home like Avishar for making bad risotto when she served everybody raw chicken? There's no way.
I was just gonna say, I feel like Avishar was like, I messed up and made risotto, but I didn't make no raw chicken, so I should be safe.
So when they made the little comment about, all right, let's see what happens at the judges table or whatever. Is it judges table or chef's table?
Judges table.
It's judges table.
Judges table. Okay, so when they said that and then they all got up, I hit the floor because I thought that it was a joke. Because we are already seeing every judge that exists for the show sitting at a table.
Yeah.
And it already felt like a lot of people. And so when they were like, all right, now that we've eaten, let's go over to the judges table. I'm like, there better not be an even larger table with more people sitting at it. That's what I thought was going to happen. And I was like, this show is about to become incredible. But it was actually less judges, which was kind of a letdown. But yeah, I was fully prepared to see like a school lunchroom style table with just 100 people sitting at it.
100 people there.
That would be a lot of fun, actually, if they did that. It was just even more judges.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And it got bigger every episode. Just more people kept being added every episode.
Adding judges every episode.
They didn't say anything. They were just there, just for effect. So Gabe wins the elimination because he put 3 plums on a plate. That's basically what he did.
They liked him.
Tom at judges table seems pretty annoyed at Kiki for cooking raw chicken because at one point she's like, "I didn't do it intentionally," and Tom goes, "Oh yeah, you didn't do it intentionally." Yeah.
No, he says like, yeah, no one does it intentionally. It's like that.
He's like, I told you about the grill. I don't know. Yeah, you didn't do it intentionally, but I told you about the grill.
He said it as if she kept bringing it up. You know?
Yeah.
Like, no, you guys keep bringing it up over and over.
Yeah.
I wanted you to tell me how the food tastes apart from the raw chicken. You guys keep bringing up the raw chicken.
You guys are like stuck on this raw chicken. Why are you guys stuck on this raw chicken? Like, can we talk about everything else that was on the plate?
I think someone even says, if the chicken had been cooked, the meal might have been palatable. Like, which doesn't even speak well of the sauce that she did.
Yeah,
they were
that's
like,
true.
if eating this wouldn't have killed me, it might have tasted decent.
And also, we know if the chicken was cooked, it'd be a better meal.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah,
That's the main
You don't
thing.
have to say that.
That's
You don't have
baseline.
to tell us that.
That's baseline. Also, there was no point when Kiki was like, I'm going home. Why?
Yeah.
Did she not think it was going to be her?
Yeah.
Did she like...
Well, she kept saying, yeah, but Abishar made risotto. And Abishar's like, yeah, but my risotto was kind of cooked. And then Tom's like, there was raw rice in the risotto, Abishar. Kiki goes home. Let's listen to her goodbye.
Kiki, please pack your knives and go.
Undercooked chicken, you can't get past it.
I hear it.
We'll see you in Last Chance Kitchen.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have never in my life served raw chicken to anyone, and I just ended up serving it to 10 Top Chef judges. I am proud of myself for giving every single challenge my all. It's not gonna be the last time. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. No, it won't.
See you again.
We'll see you guys again. Okay. All right. I needed to shoot from the hip. I didn't allow myself to do that in this competition. I tried to be more in control of it, and I just couldn't. So, we'll see what happens next time.
So Kiki's going home. She goes to Last Chance Kitchen, called Raw Redemption, and Tom makes her make raw food.
So shady. It was so shady. That was the challenge.
He loves that show because that's his time to shine. He's like, all right, what is a callback to the actual episode? Kiki, since you like making raw food so much, here's the competition just for you.
Mean,
Yeah.
bullying. That's
He's a
bullying,
bully.
Tom.
Yeah.
But she does win because she makes scallop ceviche with peppered relish and tamarind, and he loves it. So she's still in it. She's in Last Chance Kitchen, but she's still in it. But that does mean Sasha is eliminated, and Sasha was on Reeves' team, which means all three of us now in our fantasy league for Top Chef have someone who's completely out of the competition. Real quick, let's go through the new totals. I'm in the lead now with 33.5 points. Reeves is in second, 31.5 points. And Brian is still in third and last place with 21.5 points.
Not good.
Brian's team is what we would call garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to make some moves for the trade deadline. Reeves, are you still down to swap Kiki for Maria? We still do that?
Am I down to swap someone that just was eliminated with someone that's still in the competition
she's
and
still
doing
in the
well?
game. She's still in the game. She's still in the game.
That's true. She could get back in. I'm gonna take that off the table. I think you really should have closed on that last week.
So Ahsohn, thank you for coming on the podcast. You have anything you want to plug?
Thanks for having me. No, just the podcast that I'm on. Yeah, check out Carl Calls His Cousin on the Flagrant Ones Patreon. I have another podcast called The Weekly Regular that I host solo, so you can check that out as well. That's all I got.
Okay, and before we go, what is the wrestling thing you guys wanted to talk about?
Oh yeah, did you want to say anything about wrestling?
Oh. Did you watch Dynamite this week?
Oh, good.
I